Good morning. This is America's Health, and we've all heard of the seafood diet. That's the diet I'm on. You seafood and you eat it. Well, what if you seafood in your head first and imagine yourself eating it? According to a new study from the Carnegie Mellon University, doing that can actually curb your cravings and help you eat less. The researchers took two groups of people and asked one group to imagine eating 30 M&Ms and the other just 3 M&Ms. After both groups were offered a bowl of actual M&Ms and told to dig in, those who imagined eating 30 M&Ms ate half as many as the group that imagined eating just 3. Joining me now to talk more about this is our GMA medical contributor, Dr. Marie Savard. Good morning to you.
Hi, Dan.
We've got some M&Ms. Help yourself.
I think I will. I think I'll have 30 right now.
Maybe afterwards. So how does this work? What's the mechanism by which this works?
Well, first of all, this study does show the power of the brain over the body when it comes to eating. And what they think is happening, when you are visualizing yourself eating that food, and you've got to take one M&M at a time in your mind and go through the process of eating it, that your brain is already kick-starting your body in thinking that it's eating. So there's two things that are happening. First is it's setting up all these chemical processes, such as the chemical dopamine is coming out. That we
released into your brain.
It's released into your brain that we know leads to fullness and a sense of satisfaction. The second thing is, once you start imagining eating, it's as though you are doing it. You're kind of giving your body the heads up in that you sort of, once you start eating the real food, you've already been eating it for the past 5 or 10 minutes in your mind, and that's enough to get you to stop sooner.
But this is the key. It's not, you can't just sort of sit around fantasizing about how much you like pizza or M&Ms. You actually have to go through the process of imagining very specifically eating that food, one by one.
Yes, because what they did in the study, a series of experiments to show that just thinking about a food doesn't work. You need to visualize eating that food, and it only works for that particular food, such as M&Ms. You can't visualize M&Ms and then think that it's going to work, let's say, for cookies, your grandmother's cookies.
You know, what's really interesting to me, the mind-body connection is sort of endlessly fascinating. But I had read something the other day, a writer was sort of expounding on this theory, and he was saying, you know, by the time you have that 5th slice of pizza, there's a delay between the message between your stomach and your brain. You don't actually need that 5th slice. No. And we all experience it as we overeat.
No, it's true. What they say is you need to actually eat slowly and give your stomach a chance to signal the brain. The brain actually will not tell you that you're full for a while. It's depending on the stomach to do it. And the stomach takes a lot longer than it needs to. But I think, again, the message here is it's not going to work for a diet. I don't think it's necessarily going to work to cause people to lose weight. But it could be a tool, just as the psychologists have shown if you use a smaller plate size, you'll eat less food. So this is yet perhaps another tool to use. Think about that food that you crave. Think about eating that food that you crave, bite by bite, and perhaps you'll eat less.
A tool, but not a silver bullet. And another tool that sometimes people talk about is putting your fork down between each bite rather than hunting around the plate for the next bite while you're still chewing.
Right, that's true. I mean, this is just part of a whole body of research that's trying to figure out what are all the tricks we can use for our brain to kind of fool us so that we actually don't eat as much as we do.
And very, very quickly, the authors of the study have said that this does not work for people who have serious addictive cravings for things like alcohol or drugs. It just doesn't work in that way.
Yeah, they say don't try it in those circumstances. Even though in theory it might work, they believe that addiction is way too complicated and obviously quite serious. This research was done on healthy subjects, not people that had really serious medical problems.
Dr. Marie Savard, thank you very much.